Hello, and welcome to Microsoft Azure Security Technologies. The focus of this learning path is to prepare you for Microsoft's AZ-500 exam. However, even if you're not planning on sitting the exam, this learning path will help you get started on your way to becoming a Microsoft Azure security engineer. My name's Thomas Mitchell, and I'm an Azure content producer at Cloud Academy. The AZ-500 exam will test your knowledge in 4 key subject areas. You'll be expected to understand how to manage identity and access, how to implement platform protection, how to manage security operations, and how to secure data and applications. This learning path has been designed to align closely with the published learning objectives covered by the AZ-500 exam. Therefore, we'll begin by teaching you how to manage identity and access by explaining how to configure Microsoft Azure Active Directory for workloads and how to configure Microsoft Azure AD Privileged Identity Management. You'll learn about topics such as how to create app registrations and how to configure multi-factor authentication settings. Other skills you'll learn include management of Azure AD users and groups, configuration of authentication methods, and how to configure Microsoft Azure Identity Protection. You'll also learn how to activate Privileged Identity Management and how to monitor privileged access. As we work through the learning path, you'll learn how to implement platform protection by securely configuring virtual network connectivity and by configuring network security groups. You'll also learn how to configure container security and how to implement Microsoft Azure Resource Management security as well. We'll cover such topics as Azure Firewalls, endpoint security, VM hardening, container security, and vulnerability management. Other topics that you'll learn about include resource locks, Azure policies, and more. Another topic we'll cover is RBAC, or Role-Based Access Control, which is an Azure feature that essentially rides on top of Azure AD to provide authorization to access resources. Later in the learning path, you'll learn how to manage security operations by using Azure Monitor and Azure Log Analytics. You'll learn how to centralize policy management by using Microsoft Azure Security Center and how to configure just-in-time VM access. You'll also learn how to create and customize alerts and how to review and respond to alerts and recommendations. Rounding out the learning path, you'll learn how to secure data and applications. You'll learn how to configure security policies to manage data and how to configure security for data infrastructure. You'll also learn how to configure encryption for data at rest and how to implement security for application delivery. We'll cover things like database authentication, storage access control, and key management. Other topics that we'll cover include HD Insight security and Cosmos DB security, as well as disk, database, and backup encryption. You'll also learn how to configure Microsoft Azure services to protect web apps and how to manage Key Vault. Working through all the courses in this learning path will help you to learn the skills necessary to sit the AZ-500 exam. As you can see, there's quite a bit to get through, so let's get started.